Alright, I'm just going to go over the Anki Python program that's supposed to go through a text filled with characters and words, and it's going to take a TSV or CSV dictionary, and it's going to let you know which words show up enough times and help someone learn a language. So I'm going to go over how this program kind of works. So you have both a dictionary and a text. So if I were to just go over what a dictionary looks like, it's just a TSV value. So it's got multiple different representations of a single word. It's got the pronunciation, the meaning, and then it has a little boolean at the end, whether it shows up enough times in the text or not. So it's a false, true, and then we have the text. So, oops, there's no text here, but we'll use the German example. So we also have dictionaries for different languages. So if you want to use it in German, you would just have to have a German dictionary. If you wanted to do it in Latin, you just need a Latin dictionary, and you can do whatever language you want. And then you have a text in here that has a whole collection of words and letters. And then when you run the executable or run the program, it's going to go through the text. It's going to try to count as many times that the word appears, and if it surpasses the required count, then it will mark this as true. And so then you can take this and then display it as kind of like a flashcard. You can review the words before you read a book, and then you don't need to go through the dictionary. Every single time you come across a word, you will already have like a handful of words here, and you probably already know the meaning when you come across it, so you can enjoy a book better. So how does this kind of work? So if you have it compiled, you can call Anki.exe on the command line, and then you pass it the text you want it to read through. So I'm going to use the German text in this example. So German text .txt, and then I'm going to use the German dictionary. So you pass it the path to the German text, and then you pass it the path the dictionary, and then these last two arguments are just numbers. They don't really do anything, so you can put 1 and 2 like so, and you can see it has found these certain words this many times. So you can set the threshold to maybe 3 times. If it shows up 3 times, you'll have mark this as true. And you can see it does mark Apfel as true, then it marks house as true, and then let's see, the first letter does not show up is auto. So auto does not show up in this text, and so therefore we do not mark that as true. And now you can go through this dictionary, and you can go through these words, you can search them up, and then learn them before you go into this text right here. And then you can, once you go to the word like cats, you already know the meaning, so you don't need to flip open a dictionary and spend all that time looking through. You already have it right here. So if you look at the project, I'm just going to explain the structure of the directory. So you have the assets, which have the Chinese dictionary, the Chinese text, German dictionary. You can extend this for any language. These are kind of partially only very small examples of a dictionary, so it only has up to like 99 words. And every time you run the program, you do need 1 dictionary and you do need 1 text in order to parse through. So, and then we have the build and the distribution, which contains the executable. And then we have the actual script here. So this is the script. Previously, I saw from Revi, I saw your program. It was very I don't know if I describe it as functional, but I refactored it in order to better use Python's object-oriented design. So you can actually define the word as a single class, and then you can define the word list as a class as well, and then give that a bunch of functions. So you kind of treat this as instead of you just programming around functions, and you can actually just define everything as an object, and then just treat the objects as if they were a list, and like that. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna get back on track. So the entry point is at the bottom right here. So it's going to enter here because the name of the executing script will always be main. So this is going to, if you call the executable directly and you don't want to use it as like a library, then this will run, and then this takes the arguments from the command line, and then this actually calls the parse function. So this is the actual entry. So this is going to take your text file, your dictionary file. The search index and tag index are not used at the moment, so still have to figure out a use for that. And then this is going to load the file. So load the dictionary. It's going to get the words from the dictionary. It's going to clear all the tags and set them all to false because we're going to parse a new piece of text. And then I'm setting the required count to just 1. You can actually set this to like 2. So I can actually make an example of just setting that to 2. Going in here, setting it to 2, and then we'll try to run it. So, but I need to recompile if I want to do that. But I'll show you how you can run it without compiling it right here. So Python Anki, and then you pass it the arguments like so, like that. And now you can see these words that only showed up one time, they do not show up again. So I can actually add that as a command line argument as well in order to make it more handy, but I'll leave it like this. So you can see we excluded all the words that only showed up one time. Now back to the review. Yes, we load from the file, then we clear the tags, set them all to false, and then we declare how many times we need to see each word, and then we go through the text file and we mark the ones that we see enough of, and then this saves it to the original dictionary file, so it updates it. And that is the very simple version of this. But now, if you look at the README, I think a couple of goals that we wanted to do for this was to, this would be really cool if we had some kind of computer vision to like look at comics. That would be really cool. But I want to implement saving the words that you do learn from here. You could easily save this into another dictionary, like a TSV object, and then that gets just store all the words you've already learned. That would be really easy. And then the single executable, right now we have the single executable for Windows, but it would be ideal to have it available for Linux. And if you really wanted to make it portable for everything, you can make it into a web browser app. So that would be really easy. So that's just going through Anki in a nutshell. If you want to download this repo, go here, download the zip file, and then you unpack it, and then you just call Python, and then you feed it the Python script, and then you have the you pass it the text, and then you pass it the dictionary, and then just two numbers, whatever, those aren't used yet. That's how you would run it. So there you go.